This is a 2-for-1. I did the Tokai Les Paul, and there wasn't that much to do to it. So I thought I'd throw in the Hondo, which is made by the same factory, and join the both together. Here we go, another guitar on the bench. I haven't even opened the case, and I don't even know what's inside it. I just know the chappie wants me to take a look at it and give it a good setup and check it for faults. Excuse me for choking, I just swallowed a Pepsi the wrong way. Pepsi Max. Oh, we've got a set of strings, regular slinkies, and what have we got? We've got a oh, let's just see. It's a Les Paul. Nothing else in the case because the case can go. It's a lovely looking guitar. Second hand Tokai. Right, Tokia. Would you believe that that's Tokai? Look at that name. Does that look like Tokia to you? Tokai Love Rock Les Paul copy. Tokai Les Paul. They're around £500 new. This is a Love Rock Tokai. And in reverb they're going for £4,000. But there's a Tokai Sunburst 2012 for $950. So it's hard to tell what it is without looking at the serial number and doing all checkups. But anyway, let's have a look at this machine and see what it needs to be done to it. I'll put on my good glasses. Ones that I can see. It's a nice looking guitar. Got a lovely finish to it. It doesn't look to have any damage to it. Minor scratches on the back. Everything. Made in Korea. Little label missing off the top. There is a hole there. As if somebody was going to put a pickguard cover or something there, but I'll look up and see what that was. Action doesn't look awful. Head doesn't look awful. I think it just needs a good check over everything. I'll put it on the amplifier now. I like to put the amp on first because when I'm plugging it in I can hear if there's a lot of crackling. Nope, not a lot there. Not a lot of crackling, so that sounds okay. It does feel a little bit loose on it, but that's not a lot. I think it might need a little bit of tuning. Oh, the switch's got a problem. Let's try the action. Pickups are the wrong place. The pickups are far too high at the back. They're far too high at the back on the high side. Okay, and we'll look at the neck now. Let's see how straight the neck is. It's got a little bit of a bevel in it, which is the kind of bevel I like, so I can't complain. Let me just check to see from side to side. It looks fine. And I'll look down the neck of it and have a look at it. The neck looks fine. No warbling or anything like that there, or no warping, and no wobbling. Everything looks very nice. Just needs a new set of strings in the setup. Let me just look it over. I wonder what that hole was. I'm going to go and look that up now to see if that hole meant anything to anybody. I'll give that a big clean. And so all it does needs a setup. So okay, bye bye. Going to run the fret rocker on it. Let's check what the frets are like.
Pretty good. Pretty good. A little bit of movement there. Might as well turn this amp off. So far very good. Just the third fret needs a little bit of work. It looks like it's had a little bit of work down here, but we'll see. A little bit. rocky there.
Oh dear, oh. I hate that whenever you swallow something the wrong way. Georgie girl, what do you think? Georgie, Georgie, come and say hello. People haven't seen you for ages. You going to say hello to everybody? That's the Fred rocker. You want to bite it? Yeah? No. It's not worth biting. Honestly, it's not. It's not worth biting. Seriously. Anyway, need a little bit of fret leveling. Frets have been leveled down here. As you can see, they're flatter. They need cleaned. They have the fret. They have the little plastic strip down the side, but not the same as their proper Les Paul, which have the nib at the end. I'm going to check intonation now.
Sharp. Sharp. Not bad. Sharp. Sharp.
There's a little bit of work to be done there. Height to be done. And we'll get the strings off, give the frets a little bit of a polish and a rub down and a smoothing. Put new strings on and see where we go from there. But I'm going to check that now. Looks like it's been drilled. I don't know why there's a hole drilled there. Anyway, okay. Okay, this is a Tokai. I didn't show you what I did to that. I just brought the frets down, cleaned them, polished them. There wasn't an awful lot to do to that, so there wasn't much to show you. Lovely looking guitar. Beautiful guitar. Love Rock, it says on it. And it's... tuners are lovely. Everything is nice about this guitar. Action is good too. But actually, now coming to look at it, I'm going to actually bring these pickups up a bit because I had forgot I had them down for the adjustments. So let me bring them up. Some people use a gauge. I am using a gauge. Me eyes. I'm using me eyes. I do remember setting up pickups for a guy and he brought it back to me again. And he had completely changed the whole setup of the pickups. But how dare he, with his own guitar, change the setup of the pickups? Again, a guitar is very much like a car. You get it to change it the way you want it and suit it. Isn't that one of this? Didn't Paul McCartney play one of these? I don't know. You know. What can I say? It's a lovely guitar. If somebody could play it properly, I'd love to hear them send me back a little tune of it. Quite heavy, very heavy guitar, but there you go. A 2-for-1 today. Wow, 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 wow. This is a Hondo 2 made in Korea. I'm tying this together with the previous Tokai Les Paul because they were both made by the same company, Tokai, Hondo in Korea. This one here is a little bit different. It's come to me and it's got, from my understanding, it's made of ash. It's a nice looking guitar. The best I can figure out is it made in 1977 and it's mentioned several times as being rare, right? This has black strings on it, as you see. Not dirty black strings, but black strings which are very stylish. The one problem it does have is you could drive a truck through there, but there's room to maneuver. Also, it's not using the string trees, and I need to find out why that's the case. String height at the top. Let me just see, go ahead. I think it might be something to do with the neck. Might need a shim or something like that. Haven't tested the oh, hey, get in focus there. Thank you. Haven't tested the electrics. I'll do that now. Whoop. If you see, very loose, and some weird noises. It's jumping about, but let's just see. The 3-way switch is bent, it's twisted in. Let's have a listen to the switches. Crickly crackly. I don't hear it doing anything except for crackling. Let's put it in the middle position. Middle one's not making any tone adjustment. I think it needs cleaned. I think there's some noise there, so that'll be the top, the top pickup. Right, okay, and we've got electrics need to be looked at. Let's have a look and see at the bodywork. Work looks fine. Doesn't look to be anything major in the way of damages. Let me pull that plug out. Right, okay. Electrics don't think have been used for a while. Let's have a look at the bodywork. Yeah, bodywork's fine. Nice there. Neck's a little bit thick. I've checked the value of these. This is a Hondo 2 HFS 3N, which is the names that they make. There's a little bit of a ding there, nothing much, and I see the sticker, inspection sticker, but I don't see a serial. There's supposed to be a serial, but these were made from 1976 to 80, and then they stopped. Right, so the fretboard is glossed. The frets are just needing a polish. I'm not going to scrape the frets because that fretboard is glossed, and scraping it will make it lose the gloss. Pity about losing the black strings. It's given me a nice set of Tico strings, but you're going to lose the black strings on it. But let's see what we can do with this and get the action and the electrics and all sorted out. Right, I run the straight edge on it, and as you probably can see, you could drive a bus through. That's an overused term, but you could drive a real double-decker bus through there because the neck has got an underbow. So I've taken off the truss rod holder, and I'm going to adjust the truss rod. I'll do that in a second with the camera pointing in a different direction. So we're going to give this a nice little adjuster here. I'm going to tighten it up and see what happens. Let's hope the truss rod's working. So we'll give it, oh, don't like that. Don't like how firm it is, how stiff it is. Makes you wonder if somebody hasn't tried tightening this before. So I'm going to loosen it right off. That's it, loosened right off, and see what happens. Right. So we've got that very hefty underbow. I don't think you can see very much with the lighting the way it is. Yeah. I don't think you'll see it anyway, but very hefty underbow, and that was very tight already. So let's try tightening it again and see if it is. I don't want to over tighten. I'd like to loosen it first of all to see where we were, but that was very tight, which makes me think that somebody's already noticed this neck being bad. Let me just see if that makes any difference. Oh, that has made a little difference. So if I maybe could get another quarter of a turn, but I'm turning quite hard. That's as much as I can turn it. I still got an underbow. I'm going to try one more time, and then that's it. Right, okay. Still too much of an underbow. One more try. One more try. I don't like putting this much pressure on a truss rod. Let's just see. Oh, a quarter of a turn. Right, okay. I'm not going to work anymore because that's as tight as I'll be prepared to put it. I'll just take this off and let you see. If I put that truss thing on there. I don't know what you can see because I'm holding the camera the wrong way around. But can you see it? There's a... It looks like it's a narrower. It's worked a bit. But I'm not going to muck about anymore with that because I think I could snap the truss rod or break the truss rod. Right. One road does not lead towards salvation. I've had a look at this and there's still issues. This nut has been replaced at some time in the past. And they've lowered the nut a bit too much. So whenever I straighten the neck and try the third fret, there's no movement. What difference does that make, I hear you say? I need to put a little shim onto the neck, a very small shim onto the neck to give better action. Put the shim onto the neck, it means the string is going to be closer to the neck, and so you're going to get buzzing up there. But I'm going to put the shim in first to see what the difference makes. And I'm only going to use a very, very fine shim in this case because the action has improved a bit with the neck being straightened out a bit. But we're going to try it in the electrics first to see what we have with that string and the high string. Right, let's see what's underneath. A howl. A howl is underneath. Let's just have a look into that howl. That's it. And there's nothing in that howl at all. It's just a howl. Just in case you're wondering, that's Northern Ireland. That's country folk speak for a hole. Right, let's just lift this off. Any shims or anything on it? No. No shims. What's that big mark on it? Let me just turn this around. Hold on, I put the camera down. What we got there, somebody's tried to drill something there. I don't know what it was. But this looks all nice. But it's gonna... I wonder what they're trying to drill there. A lot of powder in there. Cocaine. I don't... I wouldn't... Excuse me, I'm coughing. I wouldn't know if it was cocaine. It wasn't the presence. The police brought in for a sample once. They brought in a kilo of cocaine on the local council to let us local councillors see what cocaine looked like, and to me it looked like sugar. I didn't even want to touch it in case I got high. I'm bad enough as it is with a fruit gum or wine gum. I don't need any drugs to get me high. Right, so I'm going to switch this off and then I'll show you the shim I'm going to put in. Right, I got this little very fine sheet of Illuminati from an old broken down heater I had once, and I thought I could use that. So I just use a pair of scissors, fortunately, and cut it. Now, am I tempted to put two in? No, I'm going to just put one shim in because I don't think it's going to take much. And then I put the neck back on, like that, love. And then I'll bring it back again when I've done all this messing about, okay? I'll bring it back when I put it on. Right, that's helped a little bit. Whether it's helped enough, I don't know, but it's brought... I've also brought these down a bit, the intonators down as low as I'd like, and it's now hitting the pickups. So I can tell, you can actually know why there's a chrome thing over the top of that, because you'd cut the hand of yourself playing guitar. Could you imagine doing some shredding? And oh, well, so much for that string. Let me just see. Yeah, it was only held on by one loop. Yeah, all right, okay. With a pity, I like the black strings, but maybe I'll get that one back on. I don't know. No, it feels rough. Actually, when you run your hand up, it feels quite rough. Let's see if it's sturdy. If I run my fingernail up it, let's see what my fingernail comes out like. No, no dirt on it. It just feels rough. They'll have to come away. Anyway, bring down the tip of that string. Bring down the. Look at the way the strings are twisted. I wonder if that's deliberate. I don't know. I didn't do that. Anyway, we'll see. I brought down the thing. We're going to put the strings back on again, get it up to tune, and just see where we are with the guitar height. Most difficult thing is getting the camera in a place where people can see what you're doing. Try this. I haven't tried this before. This is very loose. I'm going to have to take it off to see why it's very loose. And you can hear crackling, but that might need to be twisted. I tightened it up, but it's loose. What I did see though is the action. I've taken off a couple of strings. It sounds actually great, corny. I like it. It actually sounds like a Beatles song. Anyway, pickups are better than I thought they would be. I'm just checking for buzz here now. So there's going to have to be some fretwork done to it as well. Let me just... I think there's some fretwork's going to need to be done down there. I haven't brought them down as low as I'd like just yet. I'm much happier with it the way it is now. Love it. There it is there, for goodness sake. I need to tidy this place, get this place. Well, it actually is, believe it or not, it doesn't look tidy, but it's tidier than it's been for a while. Right. On the 12th fret, it's... It's 1.525 millimeters. Which is very low. It might actually even be one. Put your bloody glasses on, Austin. Right, 2 pairs of glasses now. .5, right? But we have some buzzing there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch off the camera, change the strings. I'm happy with one shim. It's done the job. Change the strings, put the strings back on, and when I've got the strings back on, I'll come back and switch the camera on. Actually, just before I do that, I'm going to give the frets a clean and a level. I'll put the camera back on for that. This bit's going to be really boring, but you guys seem to like some of this boring stuff. I'm checking now with my little tool the different fret heights, and maybe, I don't know, maybe this long edge is for the frets that are further apart, and the narrow edge, maybe if somebody doesn't know this, is for the frets that are closer to the bottom. So what I do is I put that on there, and if I feel any rocking, then I know that one of the frets is not correct of those 3. So far so good. Now I'm getting to a stage where the edge is too long, so I move it to the next length. Somebody might not know that. You never know that, you know. So now there's a bit of a... You hear that rocking noise? That means that that's too high. Right, let's go to the next one. Right, so it's just that one. It's too high. Okay. I don't know whether I'm wise marking it, but we'll see. Because the whole thing might need to be brought down. We'll see. I'm marking that just to let me know that that one's high. Okay. I'm listening for rocking noises. Now I'm getting again down to a smaller. Little bit of a rocking noise there. And there. Not so much at the ends, but there and there. And there. It was there the whole way across. No, it wasn't. It was there. I'll just have to ignore that one. Actually, when we get to the bottom here, I expect them all to be off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower all the frets down there. These are quite bad at the end. Bad, but not outrageous. So I want to ignore that one. Believe it or not, I'm going to ignore that one. I could level the whole frets down with my level, but I'm nervous about how low this is. You can't quite see it, but the first fret is amazingly low to the nut because the nut has been changed and lowered down too much. You can't see that feckin' thing as I'm pointing it. The nut has been lowered down too much. I never say the bad word. I say feck. As Father Ted saying feck. For feck's sake. It's actually a Southern Island thing. A lot of people use that expression. Somebody's put a bit of paper in there, sticky paper. Don't know what for. Anyway, right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my little file to bring these down a bit, one by one, where I need them to be brought down. I use my expensive file. There it is. It's already out because I was messing with guitar. This is my expensive file. I love it. It was bought to me by a customer, a client. I shouldn't say customer. And it's got 3. Can you see that? It's got 3 fret ends on it for wide, narrow, and broad frets. Now these are not broad. These would be, I would consider, narrow frets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down the frets that I've marked. Only warning I would give you about these fret tools are, you don't want to go down too far. You start to damage your fretboard. It's not going to happen, you know, because you will spot it beforehand. Right, let me just check here. It shows you how little it takes to, where is it? Where's it there? Yeah, it's very little it takes to take it off. Maybe it means something else. I never look in the dictionary. Beautiful. Now I'm going to take a bit off all the bottom parts. I'm just letting this camera run. Okay. Right, I'm going to use this, my flat block, and I'm going to use some, because I'm going to be a bit mean about it, I'm going to use some 320. I'll use some 2000 sandpaper with the block on it. Now why I'm doing that, can you see? Yes. Normally I just put a bit of sandpaper in my hand and go up and down the frets. The problem is, because that's polished or glossed, if I do that, you're going to take the polish off and then you have to polish in between the frets. So if you use a flat, you can polish like that. And then when I've finished, I'll use a rubber. Not the kind of rubber American uses, but a polishing rubber, just to get the frets polished a bit more. I need a different bit of that's just done. I try to keep my sandpaper because it runs out so quickly. Get all that metallic off. Use a brush. Get in there. I don't know whether you can hear any music in the background, but I'm working on some TVs for a hotel, and I do the my real job is the energy controller for a group of hotels, and I work from home on my computer, keeping their energy systems going and making sure that their energy systems are at the optimization and what way I can save energy for them. And that's what I do full time for this group of hotels. So they also have conned me, no, I shouldn't say conned, but they've also got me to do a lot of other computer stuff for them. So one of the things I do is their hotel bedroom TVs. There's about 1,000 bedroom TVs across the group, maybe 1,500, I don't know. And so what I do is I design, because my original job was a designer, and I design their pages. So when you go into the hotel, an automatic page comes up saying, welcome to such and such a hotel, and if you want to go to this page, you want to go to that page to find our offers, or when you have to check out, or blah 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 blah. That's what I do. And so I also was asked to do the TVs in their lobbies, because their lobbies have much the same kind of system, and I had to design a new system for the lobby hotel TV. Lobby TVs in the hotel, not lobby too. So when you go into the lobby, you see these big 75-inch TVs, beautiful things, and they show pictures of food and restaurants and instructions and videos. So I do that for them too. So it's an interesting job. I like it, and this is my hobby. Guitars is my hobby, which is something I like. Right, okay. I'm going to go across with the rubber. Do I keep this thing running for you? Right, I will. So as you can see, I'm not going to oil this. Actually, it's just the first fret needed. I'm not going to put any oil in this because that's been lacquered. So what's the point of putting lemon oil on it? There's no natural wood here anywhere exposed. So this is natural wood, but it has a lacquer on it. It's got a little dinge there I'm going to have a work at. So before I put the strings on, I'll just check the neck straightness to see if it's changed anymore. It's still got an underbow. More of an underbow than I like. Dare I swing on that one more time? No, I got a tenth of a turn on it. It hasn't done anything, so I'm just wasting my time anymore, and I'll snap the neck truss rod somewhere inside, so I'm not going to do that. Right, okay. I'm going to switch off, put the strings on, wire them up, and see what we can get adjusting the height to where we want it. All right, switch you off. I'm going to put the strings on, but I do know that some people are interested in how other people put strings on. When every person has a different way. Me, I like to do it this way. So I get myself a little bit of a little bit of a bend with my finger, like that there, probably to the outside of the, and then I bend it up, and then I make a mess of it. But it's never easy. I'd like to have 2 or 3, maybe 2 or 3 on the bass strings wraps around the post, but I like 5 or 6 of the treble strings. I like 5 or 6 of them to be trapped up. So I don't cut that off yet, but as you can see, I've got 3 wraps around there, and it's just a matter. I'll just do the high string, the high E string, and put them down there. There's not much room there. Look at that. That's the full length of the string. All right. I had to do some work on the tuners, so some of them were loose. I can't get a grip on it. You see, that's why I keep slipping. Right, take my other glasses off. That gives me just 1 pair. Am I doing it right? That's it, right. Do it the right way, Austin. No, do it the right way. Jeez. Don't think about it. Just do it. Right. I don't mind if there's 5 or 6 wraps around, especially on thin strings like this. Right, okay, so you get up to the end again and then back up again. Right, okay. So if you think there's a cool, easy way to do it, I've seen Rosa started to do theirs slightly differently, but they've gone off that. They've gone back to normal. Just why are you touching? Yeah, I'm going to have to loosen that off because that's touching and bend this up a bit. But look how little string I have. Right, that's just how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it and the way I'm doing it. Okay, and no point wasting film. That has to come off because there's something wrong inside. But that has a problem, as both the screws are completely stripped. I tried pliers, I tried everything. So the next step, slightly drastic. A fine Dremel blade to try to cut a slot. If that doesn't work, I'll use a Dremel stone to take the screw away. But I prefer not to do that. Let's see what this does. These things are prone to shatter very quickly. Needless to say, I have safety glasses on. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit more of that one because that's a bit hard to get off. And naturally, if anybody wants to buy these screws, these valuable screws, I'll sell them at a handsome discount. I think I need a bit more of that. Trying very hard not to damage the chrome at all. Let me get a better screwdriver. Okay. Watching, you can do it. So, let's see what's inside this. Are we still running? We are. Nothing exciting at all. Let me just see why it's so loose. So loose, la track. Oh, I think we're going to have to get highly technical here. Look. Can you see that? I think we're going to have a... It's firm now because I've tightened it. I think it's going to have to just be brute force. Yep. Beautiful. Maybe just a touch more. Yeah, okay. Now, while I have it out, I'll just clean up. Does anybody else, other than me, wash their sandpaper? Or am I just cheap? And I would take this over to the sink and use a little scrub brush and scrub it and let it dry and come back again. This is just a bit of sandpaper rolled up. So I wash it in the sink, and I actually can use some fairy liquid on it to get the dirt out of it and use it again. Because I'm cheap. That's it now. See, it goes right through. And all I do is do that. And it cleans both surfaces. Some people can use a file. I don't have a rat's tail file, so I just use this, and you can see the dust, dirt and rust coming off it. That's enough. It's enough. Just give it a little trial again. Yeah, okay. And to find 2 screws for that. Right, I've got, all right, okay, well, I'll tell you what, we've got Fender chrome screws. Right, so we'll just use them. I've got Fender ones that I bought a couple of hundred of. And to make it look nicer. I think oh, that's got paint on it. I want something with paint on it. Someday I might just clean it and use it. Oh, there's a better one. It's amazing the little things you keep. Heater broke down the other day. Sorry, other month, and I wouldn't throw it out. Took it apart, kept the wire, kept the little bits of, it's dirty in there, kept as much as I could that I might someday use. And that's their own, could use a new set of screwdrivers. I'd like to get the screwdrivers with strong magnetic tips on them. That's a bit better, because I often find myself trying to grasp screws in little awkward places. Right, okay. Clean that out in there. And that's it, Bob's your uncle. I have another cashew nut here. And then switch you off. And then go back to fixing the guitar. WD-40. Nice and foamy. Feels okay. Okay, and what I'm going to do also, just a little drop in there. Just a little drop. The old WD-40. It makes it feel good. Right. Now, a little bit of a clean. Really don't like these white sticker things. Just cheapen the guitar down a bit. But they're part of the guitar, so they just thought they were being clever. It'd be great, you know, if these white sticker things meant something, but they don't mean anything. Because if you look at them, one of them's pointing that way, the other one's pointing that way, and the other one's pointing that way. So, yeah. Yeah, put these on. Full tone. 10. There. Full tone that way. 10. And the notch doesn't even allow you to put it right on the white. But part of the guitar. Stop your bitching, Austin. There you are. That one actually goes on the right way. Right, now I'm going to try to straighten this up. I shouldn't, because I might crack the plastic, but there you go. That was easy. Now, going to move the camera position. I've done everything I'm going to do to it. What I will do, just before I put it away in its case, if you see here, there's a little bit of dullness around the edge. What I'll do is I'll put some of my favorite, where is it? Crimson guitar finishing oil on that, and that'll actually hide that. I will make it go. Tell you what, let me just do it now, because then you won't believe me. If I say I'm going to do it and then I don't do it, I could fool you. Right. That's sort of been worn away. I don't think you can see it. It's been worn away over time, and that's bare wood. So if you put a little bit of this and let it dry, I think I need some more. It'll hide that quite well when the time comes. When that's dry, that'll hide that variation in color. And it'll look quite nice. It actually smells quite nice too. I don't know if you can see that it's helped it a little bit already, darkened it down a bit. But that will dry quite solid. And that should help. Okay. So I'm just going to give it a little test now, this guitar. Turn the camera around, let you see the test, and then Bob's your uncle. Amazing how turning that guitar from that to that gives you a tiny difference in tuning. Anyway, it's quite a smart looking guitar. I quite like it. I've seen one of these for going for $2,000. Whether the guy will get $2,000 for it or not, but I've seen others going for 300. It's a smart looking guitar. Action now is down to around, I'd like to tell you exactly what the action is, and then I won't have to guess. And you won't call me a liar. You won't call me a liar, like. Oh, I love that sound. Let me put the action's not quite where I'd like it to be, but it's gonna be, oh, for goodness sake. It's not what it would be, because the neck has a little bit more of a underbow than I would like. But the action, well, let's go right up. 1.5. Just above 1.5 on both, which is okay. What does it say on this? 1 to 1.5. So it's 1.5, and it sounds okay. I have my guitars, my amp sitting flat, so a bit loud. good. Intonation was a little bit of a trouble because it had the telecaster type intonators, but it's pretty good intonation the whole way across there. You never get it in full intonation. So I think that this is going to go back to its mommy and daddy and maybe get sold to a good home. All right, okay.